Hi folks, this is question 5. Find the size of the angles A, B and C. A is going to be 60 as well because they're vertically opposite. There's a rule that if you have any two lines that meet straight lines, then the vertically opposite angles are equal. So those two angles are equal. For example, A is 60, then you can just do 180, take away 75, take away 60, and that'll give us what B is. And that's going to be 45. And then to get C, what you should really do is fill in as many angles as you can here. So, for example, you know that that's going to be 135 because they're on a straight line, and we know that this one here, this is going to be important. That's 120 because, um, you could look at it both ways. That's a straight line there, so the 60 and the 120 should add up to 180. Now, because that's 120, this one down here actually has to be 120 because when the lines J and K are parallel to each other, there's a rule that those two 120s are corresponding angles. They look the same anyway, you can see it on it, so you might have been able to guess, but the rule of why they are is that they're corresponding. And then again, the angle the 120 and 40 and C have to add up to 180, so we do 180 take away 120 take away 40. That'll give us 20. Use the theorem of Pythagoras. Tells us to use Pythagoras to work out AD. I'd put a little X there at AD just so we know what you're working out. And then you're going to do 9 squared and 5 squared. 9 squared is 81. 5 squared is 25. Because it's one of the short sides that we're looking for, we subtract. So the 9 is the long one in that right angle triangle. And then it gives us 56. And we square root to get 7.5 centimeters. Show the triangles ABD and ACD are congruent. I wouldn't really have expected this to come up either. Doesn't usually come up in the even cert ordinary. You have to prove basically. Right, so we can see that the angles ADC and ADB are the same because they're both right angle triangles. Or sorry, they're both right angles. So ADC and ADB. So the angle ADC is equal to the angle ADB because both right angles. And we know that the side BD is the same as DC because it tells us that that D is the midpoint. If D is the midpoint, then it has to cut it in half. So D is midpoint of BC. Should be DC actually. B to D is the same as D to C. So B to D is the same as D to C. Um, BC. And then we also know that that side there is the same in both triangles. It's AD in both triangles. So it has to be the same length as itself, obviously. So AD is equal to AD. It's the same side. So because of side, angle, side, it's congruent. So unusual enough question there. Well, it's more it's just that it's more common, I suppose, at junior cert level.